Hey, it's Macy here, and welcome to the free video from Hungry Yoga that will teach you how to end the binge cycle without dieting or restriction. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. Here's what we'll cover in this video. First, we are going to define what binge eating is, just so we are on the same page and get rid of any confusion if there is any. Then I will reveal to you how you can work with me as a coach, why I do the work that I do, and why it's so important to me to share this wisdom with you. I'll share more about the Hungry Yoga brand, mission, and what offerings will be available to you after this video. And then after that, we'll get into the content as I share my number one tip as an eating psychology coach to end the binge, why slowing down with food is a game changer, how to stop feeling guilty and shameful around food and still eat the foods that you want when you want them, and a simple embodiment exercise that you can use when you feel the urge to binge. So let's begin by defining what binge eating is. The Institute for Psychology of Eating defines binge eating as industrial strength overeating. Unlike everyday overeating, binge eating has a deep compulsion behind it. There is an intense need to eat fast, out of control, and sort of want to numb out. I remember the first time I binged like it's yesterday. I was sitting in my dorm room, freshman year of college, and I couldn't stop scooping out peanut butter or stealing my roommate's cereal. It literally felt like I had lost all control and wasn't able to stop. The binging continued and was always done in secret. The times that I got caught binge eating just enhanced the guilt and shame that I was feeling about myself. Binge eating is a deep form of self-sabotage. Alice P. Cornan-Selby states, self-sabotage is when we say we want something and then go about making sure it doesn't happen. So when you are trying to lose weight or have tight control around what you eat or when you eat, and then you find yourself binge eating, gaining weight, and losing control, that is self-sabotage. Binge eating usually includes a binge and restrict cycle because the amount of food that is consumed during a binge could leave you feeling uncomfortable for days, and therefore not really hungry. It makes a mess of natural hunger cues, eating rhythm, and meal timing, which all three are vitally important to have a positive relationship with food. The body is in a high stress state or operating from the sympathetic nervous system, and there is a need to release this stress immediately. Cue binge eating. Binge eating is actually an attempt to take care of yourself when everything else in life is going wrong. You can begin to see why binge eating is so common for young, active women. They tend to exercise a lot, study for long hours, hate their jobs, or feel overworked and underpaid, fight with their boyfriend or don't have a boyfriend, obsess over weight and body image, don't know what God to believe in, don't know what they want to be when they grow up, or feel like their family will never understand. Notice how none of these reasons involve calories or macros, gluten or dairy. When you begin to pull back the curtain and reveal the underlying reasons why you are turning to food in excess, it will lead you to higher power, your dharma, or highest calling in life, which is the exact reason why you are watching this video and why I love to do the work that I do. The Hungry Yoga, or HY for short, mission is to not just help set you free from food, but set you free in life, so you feel balanced, connected, and fulfilled in all aspects of your lifestyle. HY is here to help you live more without guilt or punishment around food and body. We're here to put you on a path of self-trust, nourishment, and embodiment without self-sabotage or shame. The HY mission is to hold you accountable to your highest and most curious self and always reach for better feeling thoughts. And HY reminds you that you are perfect, always turning into a more perfect self inside and out. HY is how I'm living my dharma or calling in life. I understand how painful and sad binge eating is because I've been there and I've felt it. I want to help young, active women who binge eat so they can refocus that energy on their deepest desires and create a life by design without being on a diet, punishment in the gym, or giving up their social life. So what's going on here is I want to help you redesign your life so you can stop living in excess. But this will require a few things from you. Number 1, there has to be a deep desire for change. You can sit here and take in this video, but without the desire to change, nothing will happen. In fact, your desire should be so strong that it feels like a need, because it is so essential to your overall health and happiness to end binge eating and live with no regrets. Number 2 is there must be an exchange of energy. I put a lot of time and energy into sharing this work with you, and this is really just saying you got to put it into action to see what happens. Energy is time, energy is money, energy is effort, and energy is movement. In what ways could you be giving more energy towards resolving binge eating? Number 3, with that action also comes the paradox to surrender. When we put too much stress or anxiety behind it, it stops feeling fun and natural. And when it stops feeling fun and natural, what's the point? So I invite you to relax through this process and trust that this is exactly what you need to be hearing at exactly the right time. I want you to be willing to let this whole process be an experiment just to see what happens. Because what you've been doing up until now hasn't been working, so why not try a new approach? The great Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you are able to do all 4 of these things consistently, you can experience a transformation for a higher quality of life and a release of unwanted self-ridden stress. I want you to live life through design and intention, not on autopilot or victim mode. So here's a disclaimer about working with me as your coach. Many of you, I'm sure, want to stop binge eating, but maybe even more than that, you just want to lose some weight. Maybe you think that you need to lose weight, but in the end, you don't really know if you're supposed to or not. I mean, who's really to say? But there are deeper reasons as to why you feel you are holding on to extra weight. I've had clients feel profound internal shifts, feeling free and not emotionally attached to food any longer, yet their weight hadn't budged. But they learned how to accept where they are now, relaxed into their evolution, and started living. They began to literally lighten up with their attitude, their thoughts, beliefs, so their weight wasn't weighing them down anymore. Sure, the scale may not have moved, but they felt 100 times lighter than before working with me. So I'm not attached to you losing weight, and neither should you. I'm not here to fix you. Your extra weight is a gift. It's been protecting you and keeping you safe, and now it's calling you to dig deeper, to investigate the inner self and where you are not feeling whole, where you know you could be giving more, loving more, being more, living in a place of increase instead of lack. You are meant to be the best person that you can possibly be, so quit waiting to live until you lose weight. Also, practice patience, because it took you how many years to start binge eating and hating on your body? So if you're rushing and pushing and trying to lose weight in a fast-paced way, you will send yourself into overwhelm. You should be okay with giving yourself just as much time to reverse this cycle. And you may never get to 100% binge-free or never emotionally eat again. I still emotionally eat. It's a great strategy for comfort and grounding. And honestly, I'd rather emotionally eat than reach out for alcohol or drugs or something else that's even more damaging. Giving myself permission to emotionally eat when I truly want to has kept me at bay with binging and is nearly impossible to do when I stay in a relaxed and slow state. Becoming binge-free will require some sacrifice. You're not going to be able to live the same way you're living now and be able to see any changes. Something has to give. Later in the video, we will go over how to bring more awareness into things that will help you shift. You might have to lose some friends in the process of becoming more you. You may have to quit your job, move to a new city, or let go of a toxic relationship. This work is simple, but it is not easy. But what you can expect is to begin trusting yourself again, that the decisions you make in the end are made for improvement and will take you closer towards where you want to be. You will constantly be growing and evolving into a more awake and alive version of you. And I must say, once you wake up, you won't want to go back to your old way of being. You will start to honor your body by eating in nourishing and pleasurable ways, and find movement that makes you feel better, that helps you keep energy moving. But then know when to slow down, breathe, stop and see the beauty in life. It took me a while to get to this place of self-trust and embodiment, but the journey was so worth it. I'm honored to be standing on the other side of binge eating, to be able to help others much faster than what it took me. And speaking of my journey, I want to tell you a little bit more about why I do what I do. I've gone from a depressed, binge-eating, over-exercising college student athlete who wasn't happy with her body, her athletic performance, or her first job out of college, to running my own business, doing work that I love, in a beautiful physical environment, about to be married to the love of my life, and truly don't remember the last time I had a full-on binge. But honestly, it will always be a work in progress. It took me thousands of dollars in trainings and certifications, working with a coach, and putting in the time, energy, and effort to get where I am now. The work is never done, but I'm so proud of how far I've came. The quality of my life has dramatically increased, and I'm consistently working towards my goals. I have transformed my life into one that I love deeply, and I'm passionate about helping others do the same. The name of the game is relief, and I want to feel relief. I want you to feel relief a heck of a lot faster than I did. So you're probably wondering, how did you get to where you are now? What's your training in, and who taught you all that you know? When I was at one of the lowest times in my life, right after I had quit my first corporate job and felt totally OC, or out of control, around food and in life, I found yoga. I started going to yoga every day, and it felt an immediate connection to the practice and the shifts that were happening. Emotionally, I felt calmer. Spiritually, I felt more in tune. And physically, I wasn't hurting as much. I wanted more knowledge and wisdom about this ancient healing practice and took a leap of faith to become a yoga teacher. I started teaching yoga immediately after my training, but I was still hungry for more. At the time, I was still struggling with food and body image, so I kept searching for the answers. Why am I still binge eating? How am I ever going to overcome this? I don't want to live like this forever. And that's when I found the Institute for Psychology of Eating. I signed up for their program to become an eating psychology coach and immediately began to heal and transform my relationship with food. It felt like all my prayers had been answered. The more I learned and applied into my life, the less suffering I had. After I completed my training and became a certified eating psychology coach, that's when Hungry Yoga was created. I began coaching clients and teaching private yoga, public yoga classes, and running a wellness program at a physical therapy clinic, and also teaching workshops. But as a continual learner, I knew there was still a piece missing. I started feeling overworked and underpaid. drained and confused, and not working the exact schedule that I desired. Then I entered the training grounds of Abundant Yogi, where everything started to mold together. The ideal schedule and lifestyle, the packages I wanted to offer, the ins and outs of being successful, a mindful online marketer and entrepreneur, how to end self-sabotage and believe that my work was powerful and that it had purpose in this world, and that it'd be a disservice to everyone who is suffering with binge eating to not have my support around it. I endorse all these trainings, and I'm an affiliate for the Institute for Psychology of Eating and also for Abundant Yogi. If you feel like being a coach is part of your future, please reach out to me about these programs and I'd be happy to discuss them with you in more detail. But for now, let's get back to helping you end binge eating without dieting or restriction. And then in the future, maybe you too can help others. Let's start to dive into the first concept you will learn in this video. My number one tip as an eating psychology coach to end the binge. If you have ever experienced binge eating, which I'm assuming you have if you've made it this far in the video, what is the one characteristic that has to happen in order for you to binge? Any guesses? It's gotta be fast. Mark David, founder of IPE, describes the archetype that comes out in us as we binge eat as the ravenous wolf. We are ready to devour the food with force, and there's a lot of energy behind it. When working with clients that binge eat, one of the first questions I will ask is, would you consider yourself a fast, moderate, or slow eater? Almost always there will be a little chuckle and then the answer fast. Dynamic eating psychology states that in order to binge, the body must be in a stress response, and eating fast automatically puts us in a stress response. So in order to overcome binge eating, you must learn how to slow down with food and life. The stress response happens when we are operating from the sympathetic nervous system. When we are in a stress response, it's also known as the fight or flight response. If you've ever had a time where you felt threatened, or like someone was stalking you, or you felt like your life was in danger, that's the stress response. When we are binge eating, that's the exact same state that our bodies and minds are in. Our blood flow has increased, our cortisol and insulin levels have shot up, and we feel like we have to react to survive. Not only that, but our bodies hold onto fat and weight while the stress response is in order to protect us. Our digestion is about 50% because the body believes that it has more important things to deal with, like the make-believe monkey that's on our back. That's why relaxation and presence are essential to end the binge, which is why I love to use yoga and meditation with my private coaching clients. After this video, you will have an opportunity to sign up for a complimentary discovery coaching call to work with me one-on-one and get crystal clear on what changes need to happen in order for you to end the binge eating cycle. If my private coaching program can help you get there, I will only take on clients who are ready and committed to radical change and transformation. So the discovery coaching call will help us both know if the program is a perfect fit or not. Learning how to eat slow sounds simple, which it is, but that doesn't mean that it's easy, especially if you have been a fast eater most of your life. It's going to take some new knowledge, wisdom, and techniques to get you there. I have personally gone from being a fast eater to a slow, intuitive eater, so I know you can too. But I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of a coach. I would still be eating fast, mindlessly, and out of control without everything I have learned as a yoga teacher, eating psychology, and lifestyle coach. I would also still have a lot of guilt and shame around food, which is the second concept of this video. So why do we have guilt and shame around food in the first place? Well, it begins with us creating specific rules and regulations around our eating. We give ourselves permission to eat certain types of food, but others we make forbidden or bad. We tell ourselves very specific times that we are allowed to eat, and it can only be foods that are on our specific plan that we are trying to follow, totally ignoring what we truly want because we no longer trust our inner guidance system or hunger signals. But as soon as you begin to make these stipulations, the rebel from within us tends to break all the rules we just made. So instead of allowing ourselves to have what we really want in the moment, we decide to resist our temptation and try to force ourselves to not eat or eat something else that we consider a good food. We believe that bad foods make us a bad person and that good foods make us a good person. We are choosing to live from a place of lack and fear, believing that we have to live in scarcity and blandness in order to have the body we desire. And then we break. We can't take it anymore. At this point, there is so much resistance and fear and lacking that we freak the F out. And that's when the binge happens. It's so fast and out of control that there's no turning back. It's happening, and before you know it, you're hiding wrappers and feeling the biggest sense of guilt and shame rush over you. You feel stuffed to the brim. Your stomach is hard and bloated, and then you cry. You feel like the victim. Poor me, I will never overcome this. Why do I do this to myself? I'm a failure, a fraud. No one can ever find this out about me. But everyone is going to know because I'm gaining weight and I just hate myself. What is the point of even being here anymore? So, how can you stop feeling guilty and shameful around food? First, you need to drop all the crazy rules that you have created about food and learn how to intuitively eat again. Sure, there are some people that are in a place where they can be on a strict diet, maybe to enhance their athletic performance or change their figure in a competition. But I'm telling you now, if you have a history of binge eating or are currently binge eating on a diet or system that you think is right and virtuous, you're wrong. If it was working for you, if it was getting you the results that you desired, then it'd be right for you. But instead, what you're doing now is leading you to binge eating, which is a divine symptom trying to wake you up to your life and the way you're living it, and alerting you that something needs to shift, and dropping all the crazy rules is going to be the first step. The second step to stop feeling guilt and shame around food is to give yourself permission to eat all types of foods without labeling them or yourself as good or bad. Now, this doesn't mean that you can just go and eat all the junk food you want and stop binge eating and lose weight. What I want you to get from this is that you are not morally better or worse depending on the type of food that you choose to eat. I would love for you to focus on the way foods make you feel before, during, and after eating them. Because guilt and shame are feelings that are a result of the experience of binge eating. So if we can change that experience of binge eating into an experience of loving the food that you are eating, no matter what type of food it is, you will feel the different feelings other than guilt and shame. When I work with clients one-on-one in my private eating psychology coaching program, we discuss two dimensions that are imbalanced if you feel guilty and shameful around food. These are pleasure and nourishment, which are two of the 11 mind-body nutritional dimensions that I mention in my blog on hungryyoga.com. When you can combine my number one tip to end the binge, which was slowing down with food and life, and giving yourself full permission to eat whatever you truly want, it's going to be really, really hard for you to binge eat, which is the exact result you are looking for. These two tips will allow you to live from a place of abundance and self-trust. You will never feel like a victim again, and every decision that you make around food will be a conscious and loving one. But one piece that is still missing is how to feel good and at peace in your body again. It is a simple embodiment exercise that you can do when you have the urge to binge or are feeling stress or anxiety around food or your body image. Let's jump right into this embodiment exercise together. So this exercise is so simple and easy that you can do it right now from where you are listening to this video. It's a guided meditation that is going to help you feel connected to your gut wisdom or enteric nervous system, the brain and the belly. Go ahead and close your eyes. Of course, unless you are driving, then stay focused on the road. And then sit up in your seat or stand tall in alignment with what you would consider your best posture possible. Good. And have one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart to connect with your inner guidance system. Then notice if you can soften your eyes a bit more. Slightly open the jaw and let your face become less grippy. Begin a yogic breath known as Ujjayi breath or victorious breath. Inhale through the nose. Let your belly fill up all the way. Hold at the top of the in-breath for an extra second, feeling what it is to be full of breath. And then exhale out of the nose with a slight constriction in the back of your throat. Let your belly empty all the way out. Signifying being empty, hold at the bottom of your exhale to create some space between the breath. Then inhale through the nose, feel the ribs open and belly expand. Hold that expansion at the top and slowly exhale breath to the very bottom where there is nothing left. Again, inhale through the nose, hold at the top. Exhale out the nose, down the throat until there is no breath left. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, 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 inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Last breath, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And after 10 deep breaths, I want you to breathe naturally. Without thinking about the breath, scan the body and feel this sensation of being relaxed and connected. All the tension has released and you feel more peaceful and at ease. At this moment, if you completed the exercise without multitasking and truly stayed focused on the experience and with your breath, your body and nervous system should be in the parasympathetic nervous system dominance or relaxation response. It is impossible to binge eat while operating from the parasympathetic nervous system because in order to binge eat, you must be in a stress response, which is fast, short breaths, loss of control, anxiety, guilt, and shame. This exercise allows you to slow down, take deep breaths, feel like you are in control of your experience, feel relaxed, calm, centered, and embodied. So how was that for you? It's amazing how such a simple exercise can help us relax and feel less anxious and more in the moment. I hope it was a revelation for you. Be sure to leave a comment to tell me about your experience. I think it's very easy for us to forget how to slow down and truly take care of ourselves. Your breath is a tool and a resource that will never leave you. As long as you are alive on this earth, your breath can be your guide to freedom. To put your entire attention and focus on your breath allows you to be laser focused on what is happening inside instead of outside of yourself. That's why I love sharing this exercise with people who binge eat, because it's something that they can use right away when they have the urge to binge. So we are getting close to the end, my friends, unless that is you want more. My hope is that you got a lot of value from this video and it gave you some immediate relief from binge eating. But let's not play around. I think we both know that binge eating is no joke. Like I said earlier, there must be a desire for change, an exchange of energy, a willingness to surrender, and freedom to experiment. So you can experience a transformation for a higher quality of life and a release of unwanted, self-ridden stress. This video is a great place to start. But if you are truly ready to learn and discover why you are binge eating, and you crave direction and guidance to binge less from a coach that has already overcome binge eating, then I highly encourage you to sign up for a complimentary discovery coaching call with me. A free discovery coaching call will allow you to share your story and struggles in a safe and healing space, gain clarity around what you are most wanting to transform, and leave our session with more energy and motivation to move towards getting the exact results you desire. Give yourself enough space for the call so you are not rushed, distracted, at least 60 minutes. I will have you call me. That way I can record our call and send it to you afterwards to keep. A DCC, or Discovery Coaching Call, gives me a glimpse into where you're at now, where you really want to be, and what it is that's holding you back. Since our time is short, I will give you as much as I can, but I know there's a chance you'll want to take this deeper and will want more. So at the end of your time with me, only if I see there's a match between what you need and what I can genuinely provide to you, and I see you as a fit for what I have, I promise to let you know what options are available to you and show you how to take your next step forward from here. Note, this call is a prerequisite for all of my private coaching programs, so you might as well give it a shot. So if you're ready to book your free discovery coaching call, then click the link below to book your one-on-one private coaching session with me. I'm so excited for you. It's going to be awesome.